Today I'm going to try Hamma Beads. Hello my creative people, how are you today? Today is the day I fulfill one of my childhood dreams. I've known about Hamma Beads for a long time. I think I saw the first little project made of Hamma Beads in the TNT is a convention of manga, anime and all things otaku in Mexico City, and there I saw a Vaporeon made of Hamma Beads. I love Vaporeon after Pikachu is my second favorite, and I really wanted it, but at that moment in time I was poor and those things were very expensive. So I always wanted to try it. It looked a lot like a cross point to me. A couple of days ago I was doing my favorite extreme sport in China, that is browsing. Taobao is the biggest online store here and you can literally find anything. So I found the Hamma Beads for very cheap. I found two sizes, so I bought a kit because I'm not sure what I want to make. So I just want to be able to have a lot of possibilities. So these are like a set for the big Hamma Beads. I don't know, I think there are like 4,000 of them, but of course in each color there are very few of them, so I can only make small projects for now. And a small one, this is actually very small, and these seem to be complicated. So along with the beads they sent me these tweezers to place the beads. I think they also sent me these kind of pads. This is for the small ones, and you have different sizes, different shapes. I have a star, and of course you place the beads on these pads. And they also send these instructions. They have instructions for many types. Look at Pikachu's right here waiting for me to make one of them. There are many otaku themes which I love. There's a Luffy right here from One Piece. They really look like these are like cross point patterns. So I think if I can find a cross point that I like, I can make it with Hamma Beads. They also have this little plastic sheet which, for what I understand, you put on top, like you have your pad, you put the beads here and then you put it on top, and then you look at this cutie. How do you call this? Iron, sorry. So this little iron comes with the little packet. There's Pikachu, so I will try to make this Pikachu here. So without further ado, let's begin. So I noticed I didn't have enough of the 5mm beads to make the Pikachu, so instead I decided to make this Sailor Moon one. These patterns are really nice since I can just place the pad on top of it and just start placing the beads in the correct color. I've seen tutorials where people work with one color at a time. So for example, they place the outline first and then fill the project. But since I know myself and how clumsy I am, I prefer to go line by line. I had to move the pad sometimes to check if the colors matched, but other than that, it was really easy. Now, some Hamma creators recommended to use tape to keep the beads in place and to avoid ironing the beads still on the pad and burn the pad as well. So that's what I did. I used the small iron for about 4 to 5 minutes and nothing happened. The beads need to melt to stick together, so this iron wasn't powerful enough and I had to break the big guns to play. I used this normal iron in the highest temperature and just using circle motions. The beads melted quite easily, but somehow unevenly, so I tried to also iron them from behind, but I think the temperature was too high that the plastic could burn. So I just let it be. As you can see, some parts are completely melted and you can't see any holes, but others are still showing. I think I just have to practice more. And as you can see, I almost finished all my yellow and black beads, so I suggest that you figure out the project you want to make before getting your colors, so you can make sure you have enough. Then I didn't want to give up on the pink iron, so I wanted to try with the smaller beads and realized I could actually make the Pikachu. This time the smaller pads didn't match with the patterns, so I have to iron it bead by bead. It was more difficult because of the size of the beads. Even though it looked smaller, it took me longer than with the big beads. Also, since I was ironing it, I had to be extra careful to count where the change of color was supposed to go, so that added difficulty to it. And I was too excited to finish it that I forgot to tape it and started to iron it on top of the mat. Well, there's another reason why you want to tape them. The beads can go out of place and you'll have to put them again. By the way, you have to be careful that your tape doesn't curl, otherwise it can mess your project even more. Make sure all the pieces are glued to the tape. Fortunately, this time the iron worked, so it seems it can only be used with the 2.6mm beads. It's good to know. And the same thing happened with this YouTube button I was making. I didn't tape them and it got stuck to the sheet and I had to place them again. For bigger projects, you'll need more tape, so it might be a better idea to get a wider one. And it's also a better idea to keep the rest of your beads away from the project you are ironing, or they can melt on your iron. So these are all the projects I tried this time. I even made a Facebook button. It was really fun and I really liked the results. Dear curious people, this is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you would like to see more of these projects, challenges and quests, I will highly suggest you to subscribe and ring on the notifications so you know when I upload a new video. That is usually every Sunday. See you next time and don't be afraid to try something new. Bye!